This is going to go on mine, but I don't want it to go on my top. Oh, to a page. There we go. Share to a page. There we go. Go live. I'm still recovering from my flu from last week. If it was a flu, I don't know. I just assume it is, but so I still have this residual cough that I've been dealing with. Let me put that right there.
Yeah, there you go.
Hopefully that'll help. Should help. All right. So welcome everyone. We have Dr. Monica here with us today, who has been patching LifeWave for how long have you been using them?
I was thinking about that the other day. I don't quite remember when I started, but maybe 5 months.
Okay.
4 months.
Okay.
I feel like 5 months probably.
Well,
at this point.
Tell me about your experience because I can't wait. I'm so excited. I haven't talked to you in a while. So yeah, share an update for us. Let's hear what's going on.
It's been interesting in a beautiful way. So we can start with my own experience with them, which I was telling you in the beginning when you introduced me to them. I needed to lots of people bring things to me and they say, you know, this is the next best thing. You got to try this. This is super valuable and stuff like that. And sometimes it is, and sometimes it's definitely not. And so, but I have made a rule with myself that before I talk to clients or even friends about anything that I think could be potentially valuable or enhance their quality of life, I will try it completely 100% all in myself first. On my own body. So I've experimented with a lot of stuff and on my own. And I remember one of our initial conversations when I said, what patches should I use if I really want to feel something right away? And we talked about it. And I use the SP6 and the energy enhancers both together on a Tuesday and a Thursday, which are my busiest days of work. I usually work 10 or 11 hours on those days, clients back to back. And I was reflecting on that. Those 2 days, I felt like superwoman, like probably over the level where I would be comfortable with on a regular basis. Like that's how intense the change was. But I got exactly what I asked for, which was a strong enough effect for me to understand that, okay, number one, this is too strong of a change to be a placebo effect in myself. And number two, if this works on me, I'm a pretty healthy person, then for anybody who's actually suffering from lower energy levels or cravings and gut health issues and things like that, it's going to have an even more tremendous effect on others, you would assume, if I felt such a significant difference in myself on those days. So that was my introduction into the patches on myself. And since then, I've tried all of them. And where I've had the biggest quality of life changes with clients has been in 2 ways. One is I'm a physical therapist, so I work with a lot of people who have tremendous amounts of pain, and the combo of the LifeWave patches and the Eon patches are excellent. What I found is that, at least with my clients so far, the LifeWave patches have been really a game changer for them in a way where their pain levels reduce so much that we have together such a broader access point to get their physical therapy done and their strengthening and their exercises and their mobility work and things like that, because their pain level has dropped in a way where they now have access to movement in a different way because they're not working through the pain. And a caution that I was wondering about in the beginning when I saw how well they worked to reduce pain was, from a safety perspective, if they're used to doing something wrong that's causing the pain, are we eliminating the pain so much that now they can still do something that is creating injury but not sense the pain? That's something that you have to be careful with. And so what I have seen, and every single person who I know who's used the LifeWave patches for pain has had the same experience, where it reduces the pain down and changes it so that the pain isn't 100% gone, except I've had two cases where the pain did 100% go away, and I'll tell you about those two. Um, but for most, it doesn't completely disappear. It changes from sharp or really quite significant to a dull, very tolerable ache, or just a dull sensation of pain. Most of the people, it's a joint pain, like knee, especially knee pain from severe arthritis. Instead of the sharp arthritic pain, they're now feeling a dull ache in that area. So it's not completely gone, which is actually good because they're still able to sense, okay, getting in bed, still like swinging my leg with momentum up to get into bed, it still does actually increase my pain, but they're sleeping through the night. They have no pain walking around during the day, or nothing that is significant enough to drop their energy levels down. So I thought that was very interesting and useful in the way that the LifeWave patches have worked. And I've had two clients, both with one with regular rheumatoid arthritis and another with juvenile rheumatoid arthritis. Both of them, it's only an N of 2, but both of them have zero pain. And they both had pain in their hand and jaw, used the LifeWave patches, and no pain.
Wow.
So that's been tremendous as well. And then I have used, quite a few of my clients are also using the energy enhancers, and they're just way more productive. And then what I do, my strategy has been to show them one of the patches that will have a symptom change, like reduction in pain or increase in energy or sleeping better, so that they really can get the sense that, okay, these patches are working for me, and here's my desired outcome, and this is what I'm getting from them. And then we introduce the X39 so that they're using X39 as that like foundational patch, and then choosing another patch or two as like zoomed in symptom changer, basically.
Nice. So you find that you lead with the LifeWave, the energy enhancer, and you said Silent Night?
Yep, I've done Silent Night, or the Eon patch as well.
Yeah.
Too, and that usually I'll have have a handful of clients who have pain or achiness in multiple areas of their body. So we're not going to throw LifeWave patches all over their body. So I'll have them do the Eon patch to kind of, what I've seen is like a 30 to 50% drop in pain levels, kind of systemically, with the Eon patch. And then if, primarily their pain is in their shoulder, but they have arthritis through the whole body, then we focus on the shoulder for the LifeWave patch, as an example.
Very nice. So
Yeah.
what is your favorite patch personally?
My favorite is actually one that came as a surprise to me when you and I had been talking about the patches and what to recommend for other people, and what they all do and stuff like that. Somehow my brain had skipped over the X49. I didn't really read about it and stuff like that. And then I work with a handful of Olympic runners, and then another couple handfuls of pro runners. And so I thought this performance bundle would be great for them. So I remember the day I'm sitting there reading off the list of the benefits to a client of mine, and I was going to give her the sheet of paper that has it, but we were just talking about them. So I'm reading off what X49 does, and I'm reading it. I'm like, why am I not using this patch? This is everything that I want. So I've been hooked on them since that, and that's been maybe a month to 6 weeks ago. And so I would say that the X49s are my favorite right now. But another thing that I have found is I keep the glutathione patches on hand. And anytime I start to feel run down, or if I'm working in a clinic with people in and out, and it's my practice, so it's small, but there's still, 10 to 20 people in and out throughout the day. If anyone has come in and they're just had the flu, or their kids have the flu or something like that, the next day or that day I put a glutathione patch on. And I think those have also been lifesavers in the way of just keeping my immune system at a high level, and keeping me from getting sick. So I haven't gotten sick since at all, not even a little bit, since using the glutathione patches, which has been great.
That's awesome.
So I like those too. Yeah.
Very nice.
And I
So,
like all of them. I actually keep packages for myself of all of the patches so that on any given day I can try a different one and still be exploring the various uses in myself first so that I can see just how it all feels. And I love on your Facebook page how you have been sharing like the different kind of funkier protocols to use with the patches as well, which is fun to try out and very valuable.
oh yes. Oh, you want to talk about funky protocols? Let's talk
Yes, I
about the
do.
flu. Because
Yeah.
I was covered in patches. So you talk about carrying patches with you. I don't know if I've ever shown you or anyone else. This is my bin. This is my
I
go-to
have a little
bin. It's
gold
got
bin.
everything. It's all organized, not alphabetical. And I've even got my Shine and my Dream tucked in there on the one side with my Nirvana, because it leaves just enough room for that. So this is and I even have my square that I keep in the back. So I have literally everything here. So when I leave to go talk to someone or, whatever I'm going to do with patches, and I know it involves patches, I take that with me. That's my traveling, aside from my emergency kit. You've seen the emergency kits too. I don't have one on me right now, but they're the little card holders that hold your credit cards. And so I have those that I keep with me at all times. I need to restock because I have been stuck a few times and I haven't had an Eon or an X39 or whatever I need. I don't have it. And it's like, oh, great. So you talk about funky protocols, okay? So I've been actually working on some imagery for all this, and I'm going to make a blog post about it on Patching Partners. But so I don't even, this is the first time I have been this sick in so long. I can't even tell you. My oldest went down first. Of course, he bounced back in like 2 days. Then the little one went down, then my husband went down, and then finally it took me down. So in those days where my little one and my husband went down, I wasn't feeling great, but I was surviving. So here I am. I've got a minimum of 3 patches on my face at all times. Now, whether it was 1, 2, 3 across my forehead here because of the pressure in my head, or it was 1, 2, 3 flanking my nose because of the start of the congestion and the pressure and just everything in my head. I couldn't knock it. By the first day that I was actually down, I had 2 X39s on. I was like, nope, more's better. I had one on the back of me. I had one on the front of me. I had 2 X39s. I had Eon, Carnosine, glutathione, and I had ice waves on the bottom of my feet.
Oh.
I survived, right? I survived. It wasn't the worst. I did not go down for a full 24 hours, but I think I was able to at least keep it at bay for a little while. That I then changed the protocol to what I had X39 on the back of my neck, and I recorded all these down. I had I think it was a Carnosine on my LI11 here on the elbow, and I had another one on my ST36 on my leg. And having those 3, the one on my leg, the one on my elbow, and the one on the back of the neck, really took a bulk of everything. If something still kind of crept up, that's when I would put ice wave on the bottom of the feet. Because it was like just this whole body ache thing that was just awful. And, I'm trying to drink water and tea. And yeah, so I'm going to be posting a blog about the flu and how to treat it with patches and how I survived with patches. I know that there are other people going through the flu and COVID right now that are using a combination of patches and oils with a lot of success. And I can't wait to discover her voodoo magic, because she has a ton of voodoo magic too, which is great. And aside from just patches, So, and I was actually wanding myself. As you say, you talk about wanting to do something for yourself before you really kind of start putting it out there for other people. I have a new modality that I've been using for about a month now, and it's really cool, and I like it a whole lot. but I'm working my way towards how to frame this, right? Because it's phototherapy is the beginning for me for frequency healing and light healing. And this wand that I've been using is just, it's the next step. You know, it's like, I would never trade my patches ever. I will use them. But if you've got something that's like a specific spot you want to work on, for example, toe fungus, right? I have one toe that's been my crazy toe for a long time. I have tried everything, tea tree oil, you name it. I've got pictures of it pre-patching. I've got pictures of it through my patching because I've been patching for over 6 months now. I think I have a picture close to when I started wanding it. That's made all the difference in the world. Just to be able to, because I'm not gonna put the patch on my toe, but
Right.
you know, I can wand my toe. You know, when I got out of the shower, I wand my toe, and I'm like, all right, you know, a couple minutes on the toe here and there, a couple times a week, and I have a nail again. It's amazing. So I definitely have different modalities that I've been looking into, and I can't wait, and I'm excited to share with everybody about it. But anyway, back to you. So what has been your most profound thing that has changed in your pre-patching and post-patching life? Like, can you give us any guidance into that, any insight into that for you personally?
Like in my own body.
Just, yeah, yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm still waiting. So I guess I've only been doing it for, I'm coming up on 3 months now that I start to put the timeline together, I believe.
Okay.
Because I took or at least, okay, now I remember. So I've been doing the Alavita patches at night, and I bought the whole kit. So with the day serum or the day cream and the night cream. So I took pre-use photos of myself. And when I hit that 3-month mark, which I think is coming up soon, I will take the post photos of myself for just the 3 months. And then I'm going to do it for 6 months. I can see some changes. I haven't gone back and looked at those pictures yet. I want to just take them at exactly the same time of day in the same spot and see if there's a difference. But I do feel like there's going to be a pretty nice difference there, skin wise. But I would say that the biggest personal difference is knowing that I have the tool, like a kind of like a superpower toolkit at home for any kind of boost that I need in my own system, whether it's immune system or energy or my favorite thing about the X39s or X49s is kind of a little bit of everything. Like you have better muscle recovery after going harder at the gym, that my focus is better with the X49s to a point where sometimes I almost feel like I don't use them on the weekends because I feel like I get a little bit too focused. I just want to work all weekend instead of socializing and things like that. It gives me a lot of drive. And then I feel like it suppresses your appetite a little bit so that there's just no cravings or like a desire to snack if you're not actually hungry. It doesn't remove my appetite, but it's probably a combination of the focus and a little bit of an appetite suppressant as well. But I would say that, yeah, as I think about it more, the X49s have given me like a 25 to 30% boost in desired productivity with work things and like my resilience during the week of I run busy weeks, and sometimes I can come home completely exhausted at the end of the day, and it's a lot of giving out, and sometimes in that space you can over deplete yourself and then just come home exhausted. I would imagine similar to being a mom, you know. It's a little bit different when you're kind of mothering people who aren't your own blood.
I would say.
But I don't think I have felt that kind of depletion when I get home from work, where you're just too exhausted you don't even feel like making dinner because you're just so exhausted. I haven't felt that since I started using the patches at all. I think an important thing to note, you know how they come with, you sent me in the beginning, the questions and things like that, where you answer the questions in the beginning. I noticed this with my work also. When you take someone's pain away, or when you remove a symptom, our mind doesn't focus on the symptom when it doesn't exist anymore. So unless we reflect back on those objective and subjective measures, sometimes they can get lost in the wind because you're just feeling good and you don't even remember the old stuff, like the fatigue that you had, or the energy drops, or the pain or achiness or whatever. So it's important, both on a personal level for me to reflect back by looking at my actual written answers, because I don't think our memories are so accurate in even reflecting back to old symptoms either. But also, as you're using these patches with other people, to ask them questions and have them write down their answers for their own reference before they start using a particular patch or patches in general, and then contact them again and ask them how they're doing a week later, a month later, 3, 6 months later, and reference those answers, because you will forget
Yeah.
where you were before. So it wasn't until you asked me that question and I had them in my mind really go back and think, what was it like coming home from work 6 months ago versus now, after a long week or after a long day. And there has been a very significant change in, I would say, my recovery levels of like exhaustion reduction at a significant level,
That's great.
which is fantastic. Yeah, I'll take that all day long.
So, and that's the one thing I tell people, right? It's so I give the health tracker and I say you really want to check in with yourself, because I'll tell you, I will never forget my knee pain. I cannot forget
Right.
my knee
Yeah.
pain. However, I get to a point where I don't realize what I'm doing because I'm no longer in pain. So I don't know if I told you, I was doing squats outside
Yeah.
gardening this fall. And I didn't know that I was doing it until I'm literally squatting down on the ground and I look at myself and I'm like, I'm squatting. Wait. And I stand up and I'm like, did anybody just see that? Because nobody knows anything about it except for me. And I'll never forget that. But to be in that moment 5 months later from patching, 4 months later from patching, and just squatting down and standing up, it was, I can't tell you, before patching the last time I did a squat, my knees were that bad that I'll never forget my knee pain. But other symptoms, yes, I often forget the symptoms that I had before I started patching. Now, I'm in it to win it. I am going to be using these patches
Yeah.
forever. These patches will be a bulk in our household for many years to come. I love them. I love everything about them. And I wouldn't change anything. So that being said, what's your opinion on your patches in terms of like what you foresee your use and how you're handling your own personal kind of check-in with yourself, and how often do you do that? And what would you recommend for people to do just to, you don't want to overuse something, but in the same sense, I mean, I've gone a couple days without patching and my knee pain has not come back. Thank God. I don't want it to ever come back. But at the same sense, you say you take the weekends off. I think that's a good idea. I usually take Sundays off if I'm going to not patch, but I'm not great about patching since I've been to work. So my consistency for patching, because I leave at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work. So I don't patch till 8 or 9. So it's like those 2 days, I'm just all over the place with my patches. But so what would you recommend for people to kind of check in with themselves? How often to check in with themselves? Is it too individualized to recommend? Or I'd love to hear what you have to say about that.
There's a big piece of it that's definitely individualized, especially symptom wise. Like if you're checking in on your energy levels, I think that an average is a better way to check in with yourself than one day versus the next day versus the next day versus the next day, because different things are happening in those days. And one poor night's sleep or 2 glasses of wine the night before, or like there's a lot of variables that can affect energy levels. So in that way, well, let me preface this with I am, and whoever is watching this that knows me and kind of what my whole philosophy is about, one of my big foundational pieces in my work is the importance of creating habits that you desire in your life that are going to help you along the way for your life to become actually easier and for you to have more control over who you are in your life and how you're showing up in this world. So I think that habitualizing the way that you reflect back on your state of being, whether that is energy levels, sleep patterns, pain levels, hunger levels, weight loss, things like that. If you set whatever your rhythm is, whether it is daily, weekly, bi-monthly, or every month, it's at the same time of day when you do it, on the same day of the week, or if it's daily at the same time of day, you're checking in with yourself and you're writing it down. So I have a habit journal that has dates and like boxes in it and categories, and I will check in with myself about different things on Sundays. Usually it's on Sundays. I sometimes change it in other times of my life to Mondays, but it's traditionally on the same day of the week. And I go back and I look at, okay, how did I do with my own rest levels this week, energy levels? I don't have any pain on a regular basis, so I don't really check in with that, but I do get headaches. And so I'll write down, how many headaches I got that week, or it's a lot less now, but it used to be years ago, I would get like one or two headaches a week. And now it's 1 or 2 headaches a month, but they still drive me crazy. And they're still relatively regular enough to be worth tracking. So I would say, so for me on a personal level, I check in every week. And then at the end of each month, I go back and do like a grander check-in. And I think for other people, if it's pain, there's 2 ways to think about it. If it's chronic pain, you actually don't want to check in every day because you're keeping that pain in your mind. And when your mind becomes so used to having pain, it's actually the easier space to feel, because it's your nervous system's habit is to feel the pain, not to not experience the pain. So if you keep looking for it every day, like, oh, I have pain in my shoulder. Do I have it today? Yep. I can find it. I always ask my clients not to try to search for their pain, because your nervous system will just jump right into that comfortable, uncomfortable waters of actually having that pain. So if it's chronic pain, I would say check in only once a week with your average pain levels. If it's acute, like injury pain, then you could check in every day, or even multiple times a day if you're using the ice waves and we're starting right out using the ice waves, because you need to find your best location for those patches, which is very beneficial too. Mm-hmm. So it is a little bit subjective. And I would say if you're someone new to the patch world, work with you or me or something like that to kind of get your experience level a little bit fine-tuned in the way of how often to check in about certain things. I do think that you can over check in, but you don't want to under check in, because you'll miss some of the value, and it's important to catch those value points so that you know where they're really good and where maybe some more fine-tuning could exist.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. And it's ironic you say this and that we're having this conversation tonight, because tomorrow is the day I make a presentation to Strive for.
Great.
Yeah, so I've been putting together, I've been working on a presentation for them. And one of the things when I've been going back to physical therapy recently because my knees don't hurt anymore. So I called my ortho and I said, hey, my knees don't hurt anymore. Can I get that script for PT again? And of course I go in, they're like, what's your pain level? I'm like, I don't have any. And they're like, kind of like, why are you here? I'm like, because I know I need to build strength. When I was here last, I was in so much pain, I couldn't even ride the bicycle. I mean, I couldn't even do that. So here I am, not in pain. And I want to get stronger. I want to do the things that I couldn't do this past spring to heal and the way that I want to, you know, move forward. Now, I'm not going to be doing any CrossFit anytime soon, but I do like the fact that I'm at a point where I'm not in pain, so I can do the things that I want to do, and that pushing myself with the different muscular things of PT is great. That being said, Cody in there, who is one of the gentlemen that I work with, said that they want to keep pushing him, like, ask your person when they come in, what's their pain level that day? He goes, I don't want to do that. He goes, I don't want to remind people of their pain. I don't want to point it out, because then they're going to bring it up and think about it. And like you said, give it space. So it's ironic you say that, because he is a proponent for not asking, like, no, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you today. Like, we're not going to talk about your pain because we don't want our pain here. So it's interesting that you say that, you know, you don't want to hold space for certain things. So not bringing attention to that is a good way to do it. I agree.
I have another note about using the ice waves in relation, or any of the patches that you choose to use for pain. If you have chronic pain, what I would recommend is, I know a lot about the mechanism of chronic pain in your brain, because it's funny how people say, like, there's a way of thinking, like, if someone doesn't really have physical pain, we might say, or someone might say in a kind of derogatory way, that your pain is just in your head, right? And we've learned to think that means that the person is saying, and sometimes they are saying, that I'm not actually having this experience of pain, there's no injury, it's just I'm making it up, or I've created it, or whatever. The truth is that all pain is in our head. We experience it in the brain at a location of the body. If I have pain here in my hand, I'm not experiencing the pain here. There's a nerve receptor that gets a message of danger, or which is actually pain. Why we feel pain is because it's a red flag saying there's something wrong right here. That nerve brings the message up into the brain. The brain decodes that message as pain, and that's where we feel the pain. Even we feel it here, but that code is red in our brain. When you have chronic pain and you've got that message running all day long, every day, up into your brain saying pain, 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 what can happen is that your body, like I said before, habitualizes that pain. And long after the injury is actually healed here, and it happens most often with low back pain, you can still be feeling pain sometimes when there actually is no significant injury in a particular place. But the chronic pain can still very much exist for a person. So in areas of chronic pain, what I would recommend with the patches, especially if you're using LifeWave, is that you use them often for a period of time. And then, so let's say that you're using them daily for 2 or 3 weeks, and it's working, and your pain level is so much less. And so you're thinking, you know, do I need to just use these forever because I love that I'm not in pain anymore? The answer that we actually want is no, you don't need to use them forever. You might wean yourself now to every other day using the LifeWave patches, and then maybe every 3 days. And at the same time, you're using X39 to, you know, stimulate that stem cell regeneration so that you're healing on a cellular level, whatever needs to have that healing happen. But you are changing that habitual messaging going to your brain that wasn't truly necessary anymore. You've just been in pain for so long that your brain doesn't know the difference between no pain and pain anymore. Pain is the comfort zone. Even though it's painful, it's what your brain is so used to experiencing that it's easier for you to experience pain than not. And so the LifeWave patches especially can break that pattern for someone. And I've seen this, I'm bringing it up because I've seen it happen a handful of times now. And one person that I'm thinking of specifically, she did exactly this protocol every single day for three weeks, every other day for 2 weeks after that, every 3 days for 2 weeks after that, once a week. And now she is not using LifeWave anymore. Her pain is holding at a 2, but it was at a 7. And now she's doing a 3-month trial of using the X39s. She had x-rays right before we started using the patches, and she just scheduled her next x-ray for March, which will be when, no, sorry, for February, which will be when we start she goes to have the x-rays to see if anything's actually changed. I'm talking about her knee. So she's very excited because she's had pain for over a decade in her knee and now has minimal pain. And it's just that ache that I was telling you about, that like awareness. She has had terrible arthritis in her knee. So I am very curious, and no expectations, because it would be kind of revolutionary if there was a visible change in her arthritis in her knee from a musculoskeletal perspective, like the way that the arthritis looks in her knee, despite her symptoms being significantly less. But I am very curious to see what happens there.
Me too, for sure. And that being said, did you see the protocol about regrowing cartilage?
Yes, and so I told her about that, or at least maybe I didn't actually see a protocol, but I saw that it's a possibility. Maybe I saw a research article that said that someone had experienced cartilage being regrown. So what is the protocol?
There's a protocol for that. It's Eon on the inside of the knee and glutathione on the outside of the knee, and you bracket the knee. You can do it with both knees if you'd like. And what I typically recommend, and I've talked to people about this at length recently, because there's different levels to patching, right? There's your daily patching, and you do 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And that's what you do when you're doing just your regular daily routine. Now, if you've got something like this knee protocol, that's more of like a therapeutic protocol, you can wear it for 24 hours. And you can do it multiple days in a row, because you're doing one thing very specific for a period of time to see what the outcome difference is going to be. So in terms of the therapeutic of it, I wear the knee protocol probably maybe 3 times a week. And I will put them on usually when I go to bed. I put them on, and then I wear them through the night, and I wear them the next day. And then I just take them off or put new ones on before I go to bed, just depending on how many days in the week I want to have them done. Now, I would never do that with X39 or X49, but for the regular patches, I don't mind wearing them 24 hours. And especially in an emergency situation, like when you're sick and the flu, yes, I wore them 24 hours. I took them off. I put them back on. I didn't care. I was patching anything and anywhere. So that therapeutic approach for the knees has been proven to regrow, paired with X39, because you need those stem cells, has been proven to regrow the cartilage in your knee. So I've been doing that for on and off for probably 2 months now. So my next imagery, if I want it, I'll probably be this spring. So I'm curious to see also my different knee imagery, because they couldn't even tell me what was wrong with my knee this past spring and why I hurt it and what was hurt about it. They couldn't really see anything other than the fact that my knees are 60 and I'm only 43.
Yeah. When was the last time that you had imaging done on your knees?
It was last year. It was the spring of 22. So I'll have it, I'll probably do it again this spring. I don't want to do it. I don't want the extra things that go along with imaging, but I'm really fascinated to see the difference, because it was about 3 months after that I started patching. So it would be almost a whole year. Maybe I'll just wait the whole year and see what happens of patching. That'll be my 1-year anniversary, new imagery for my knee. Not that I want the extra, radiation, but I mean, if it's going to prove it, that's amazing in my eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of a pretty big deal if it proves it.
Yeah, so, agreed.
Probably worth it.
But I will be adding the different, I think I already might have added the knee protocol to the patching partners. I have a blog on there that I've been adding to, and the blog is by like advanced. I have it different ticks, so you can kind of pick and choose what you want to find the articles about. So I'll do one that's just protocols, and then you can find the different protocols in there. So I'm just, it's on my list of things to do. There's nothing else on there. So we can open up for questions if we have anyone on that would like to have any questions or want to ask anything. Let me jump over to Facebook real quick and see if we've got. I know I'm going to click this and it's going to go loud and it's not going to do what I want it to do. So I don't see anything over there. What is your opinion on New Year's resolutions? And do you have one? And if so, what is it? Would you share it with us?
Cool. It's funny. I think next week I have a very large email list, and next week I'm going to send out an email with my opinion on New Year's resolutions, because I didn't want to loop myself into the insane amount of emails that I have. I mean, other people must be getting them too. Since like the Black Friday deals came out, through it's still happening. I have never gotten as many emails as I have in the past 2 months. It's insane. So I didn't want to, I actually have gone silent with sending out my emails lately. Usually I do one every week or every other week, but I totally stopped because I'm like, I'm not getting involved in this an overabundance of emails that are being sent out right now. But I feel that if New Year's resolutions work for you, do them. They don't work for most people. But some people they really work for. And what I mean by they don't work for most people is what I have seen is that many people go way ramp up to these big goals, and then they've got like 5 things, and then the energy or the momentum drops, and 3 months later that resolution is old news and it was too hard. So for me, what works is I pick a word that I'm going to work on integrating that quality into my life on that particular year. And I can reflect, like I know what word, just in my memory, I know what word I had for 2018, 2019, 2020. This year, my word to integrate more of is joy. And so I think about it every single day. And it was really funny because I never enter these contests of like win this or win this vacation or do this thing. And I did. I know these girls that do, or women that do this meditation and crystals and stuff like that in the Finger Lakes. And a very good friend of mine had entered their contest. And then part of the entering the contest was putting in somebody else's name who you wanted to enter the contest to. So anyways, I saw it on Instagram one day and I was just like, oh, this is cute. I'll just do it. And on New Year's Day this year, I woke up and like doing morning things, and I checked my Instagram, or I had messages from my friend, and she's like, girl, you won. So it was really funny because in the first part of my day, like my first moments of 2023, I had so much joy just from simply winning this tiny little contest. The prize is this bracelet. So it's a moonstone bracelet, which happens to be my favorite stone, and it says joy on it because they would take your word that you said and put it on. So I had this immediate moment of joy, very at like the first glimpse of the year. So my word this year is joy, obviously. And I think that a very useful and attractive way to shift something in yourself for the year ahead is to think about the person that you would love to show up as in this world and what quality that person has, and remind yourself every morning when you get up that you are that person. So like, I am a joyful person. Or if it's something like running, I am a runner. That's what you would say to yourself in the morning. And what would a runner do during that day? Well, you should probably maybe go for a run. But instead of saying, okay, I have to run every single day this week, or else, or I should run every single day this week. I don't like that word should. Or, these are my goals and I have to do these things. If you can label yourself as that, whatever the thing is that you're desiring to be, So we'll use runner. Some people want to be a writer or something like that. But if you wake up and you tell yourself, I am a runner, how am I going to prove that to myself today? Well, I'm probably going to go for a run because I'm a runner. And then my other tactic that I like to use is get yourself to do the thing that will connect you with what that thing is. So if I'm a runner, that means I am going to run. So do it for 2 minutes, commit to 2 minutes. That means even if you're training for a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, or a marathon, if you're a runner, you're at least running 2 minutes every day. That means you got to put the sneakers on, you need to go outside and start running for 2 minutes. But all you have to hold yourself accountable for is 2 minutes. You will laugh at yourself to think that you can't do the thing for 2 minutes. And what will happen most of the time is you get out there and you're running for 2 minutes and you'll finish your run, whatever you wanted it to be. But it's that, okay, all I actually have to do is 2 minutes of this thing. And it gets those juices flowing in a way that you are so much more likely to continue to build that habit that fits the framework of the person that you are wanting to live this life as, with whatever quality that is. So for me, I am experiencing a lot of joy this year. And so every day I wake up in the morning, remind myself that I'm joyful, and I try to pick something in that day that will enhance my joy. And that could just literally be, if I'm walking down the street, like turn it into a skip for a minute, or, there's a million different things. I see some questions coming in, so I'm gonna give space for that.
Chrissy was just thanking us.
Okay.
Thanking us for inviting her to be here, and that she's enjoyed listening and learning. Chrissy is a woman that I've worked with Oliver, and she happened to notice that Oliver had a patch on the other day, and she's like, "What is that?" And so we got into kind of a situation, a conversation about it. And so tonight, before we were getting on, I was like, "Oh, I just shot her a quick message. I'm like, hey, if you want to jump on, we're gonna have Dr. Monica on, and we're gonna kind of chat about her experiences to date, and if you want to join us or watch or whatever." So she's interested, for not only herself but for her son, because of what I've been seeing with different clients that we work with the Carnison, and some use the Carnison and Eon for cognitive function, cognitive development, and just overall well-being for kids that are struggling. And as their brains are developing, and just all those synapses that need to go a certain way, and sometimes they just need help. I have found that with Oliver, since we've been patching him with Carnison, his vocabulary has expanded amazingly. Just
wow.
Yeah, he's putting a lot more pieces and dots together. Also comes with age, but I'm still fascinated every day at what sometimes they say to me. And I even, every now and again I'll patch Everett, but it depends, and I've been doing all muscle testing and that to find out what patch is appropriate for them. I'm not going to patch them if they don't need it. And because, LifeWave says not to patch children, and that's not something that we should do. So everyone needs to make that own decision as a parent for their own child. It's not something that we're recommending, but I am finding a lot of parents that are having success with their children that are on the spectrum to alleviate symptoms, albeit stress, anxiety, cognitive function, you name it. We got a patch for that. There's a patch for that. There just is. There's a patch for that. Because it's just amazing at how much more the patches work to enhance what the body can already do, compared to taking the supplement for carnosine or glutathione, and you don't know how much you're getting of that supplement versus how much you're excreting of it. And just the fact that your body's just doing it itself. And the glutathione, the glutathione was probably one of my favorite patches, aside from X39. It's that and Eon are the two that I, aside from my daily use of X39 and SP6, if there's something else I need support for, typically it's glutathione or Eon.
Mhm.
So do you use sleep or silent nights at all?
I tried them, like I tried like 3 of them just to see on nights where I thought maybe I would have a little difficulty sleeping, but I don't have difficulty sleeping. So um it's hard to test. I mean, I hit the pillow and I'm sleeping and I sleep 8.5 hours
Yeah,
and I'm up. So,
that's where I am
but I
now.
have clients that use them and love it.
Yeah.
So I think I have 2 people that are using them, and both say that they help tremendously.
Yeah,
Yep.
I will. So pre-patching, the symptom that I often forget about is the fact that when you become a mom, you become the lightest sleeper in the world, and you
Yeah.
pin drop in the room, and you're like, I'm up.
Yeah.
It's just like it doesn't stop, right? But at some point, your body, you need to sleep. You know that pushes you into that survival mode of fight and flight. And so the fact that I go to bed now, Josh has tried to wake me up after I've gone to bed. And he has literally like shaken me. And I'm like, what? Like I was so soundly sleeping. I don't sleep like that. I do
Well, now
now.
you
I
do.
do now. But you know, previous with the patching, I would be up. If he'd walk in the room, I'd wake up. And it's like, great, I gotta go back to sleep now. And I try to go back to sleep. And I love it now, man. I lay down, I get tired early, and I'm really trying to embrace that as much as I want to stay up and, you know, maybe watch a show without the kids or something. I'm really trying to embrace the fact that no, I need to go to sleep. So, I mean, I've had a couple nights where I'm out by 9 o'clock and I wake up feeling like $1,000,000. You know, it's like, wow, 8 hours. Look at that. That's awesome. I didn't know I
Talk
could really
about
do
this in a
that.
decade. Yeah.
It's been a long time. My oldest didn't sleep for 18 months. So didn't sleep through the night. First 18 months. That was
Yeah.
hard.
Yikes.
That's really hard. So yeah, the sleep thing has been amazing. I think that's probably, aside from the relief of knee pain, the energy and the sleep that I've had, and the fact that I can have the energy sustained, like you said, all day long, and then have a great night's sleep. In addition to that, I mean, I'm not a big drinker. I was before, I think, but now I don't even drink. I don't even want to. I just don't.
It's funny how that changes when you shift to feeling so much better all the time, how you then even are choosing to make healthier decisions around things like that, simply because there's nothing to cover up. Like you don't need to have a glass of wine to like knock your stress levels down at night
Right.
or help you relax so that you can sleep better, or numb anything. So there's no, the value portion of it or the coping portion of it disappears.
Agreed. And I know many people that have started patching that they're not drinking anymore.
Mhm.
They're not. She's the one specifically, she's like, no, I'm not drinking anymore. And she's working with the Nirvana really to try to, get off any pharmaceuticals, and she's doing a great job with it. And she feels great and she looks great. And I can't wait to
Mhm.
connect with her because she wants to tell her story now. It's been about 3 months for her. And so it's probably been a little bit longer because it was before you. So it's probably been close to 4 months now. And I know that she wants to tell her story because, before she started patching, she couldn't even, getting through her day was a challenge. And now she's thriving and she loves it. And she's in such good spirits.
That's
So,
amazing.
did you watch Nova? They had this
Mm-mm.
Nova event yesterday. I didn't get to watch it.
Mm-mm.
But if you go to Patch Me Up, babe, or no, whatever the patch group is, I have free
Yeah.
patch business, the business patching. I added it in there, and there's not only the transcript that you can read, but if you click the link in the comments, it takes you to a link I found by dumb luck that has the replay. It's like a 2.5 hour replay that I've been listening to, skipping around in, because he talks a lot about right now the promotion that's going on is the X39 paired with Eon. And they have that promotion right now, which is a fantastic promotion. And they launched that at Nova yesterday. So it's from, it was from yesterday until I think the 20th. They're doing 5 days of that promotion, which is awesome. I'm so glad that they're doing more promotions.
Yeah, I know. It's really great.
But they're doing them all right now. Like there hadn't been any promotions until now. So
I know.
stock up while you can. That's what I did on Black Friday. And then
me too.
and then we'll wait for next Black Friday.
Yeah. And I am going to the, what's it called? Dream Big. I registered for that. So I will be there for that weekend.
That's excellent. I can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah.
Teresa's a really great wealth of knowledge. She has done, you don't sell things, you can't earn 18 pink Cadillacs from, what was it?
Is that what she's earned?
She's earned in the course of what she's done when she did the marketing for, that's not Mary Kay, is it? No. What is it?
I don't know.
It's a cosmetic line. I'm terrible. I don't wear makeup.
Neither.
I don't even know, but it's a cosmetic line. And she earned 18 pink Cadillacs. So she knows her background.
Is that her background in Mary Kay?
Her background's in sales. Yep. Mary Kay. And so she's, I guess, our senior presidential director. And so she's the one that's doing she's hosting the Dream Big event. And she's raking it in.
Yeah.
She's raking it in. So she's doing great. And she's, turned around to teach us all. And I think it's going to be a fantastic time. I'm so jealous. I wish I was in California. Seems like everything's in California right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to take advantage of the fact that I live here, at least right now, and do these things that are on my doorstep, basically.
Yeah.
While I'm here, because who knows how long I'll be here. I don't know, but taking advantage.
Yeah, for sure. Are you headed back to, you'll be back in New York this summer.
Yeah, so I'll actually go back twice. It's my 20th high school reunion year. So we just got the date for that, and I'll go, but a couple of my close girlfriends, Corinne and Jenny and Tara and Amanda will be there. So we're doing kind of like our own weekend also that weekend, but we just did the dates for that yesterday. So that's mid-June, like the weekend of June 15th. And then I am co-hosting a retreat with Erica Policelli, a wellness retreat. So we should talk about that. Yes. Our plan is to sell it out at 50 people. And that will be the weekend of September 15th. It's a 3-day retreat. And it's going to be a luxury wellness retreat with the best teachers and professionals in the area and some out of the area. We have basically solidified all of the details at this point. We're going to go live with the launch in March, but this is going to be, it for sure is the best retreat that I have put on in my life so far. And it's just going to be so epic. So,
and that's going to be upstate New York?
Yeah, at Plum Point Lodge on Seneca Lake, September 15th to 17th through the 17th. And it's going to be awesome. Yeah. So please come.
Yes, I'm in. I think it'll be great.
It's going to be really, really fantastic. And we're going to have awesome, awesome food. Part of it will be showing people that you can eat super healthy and have it taste amazing. So the food is going to be very delicious, very high quality, and also like no sugar, no flour, just as clean and awesome as we can possibly make it. And also nourishing, and then lots of yoga, movement, meditation, and all sorts of other fun surprises too.
Very cool. Oh, I'm looking forward to that. Definitely. Oh, that'll be so exciting. Well, thank you so much for joining us this evening. I appreciate this.
Anytime.
Sharing all of your knowledge with us. And I can't wait to check in with you again soon in the future and see how you're doing and how your clients are embracing the patches and how they help them. It's great. I'm just, like you said, you know, people are always trying to sell something that are, oh, this is the next best thing. This is great. This is whatever. This will change your world. And it's like, yes, but at the same time, this does.
Right.
And so
Yes.
I'm kind of approaching this next year with love. If I had to pick the word, that's going to be my word. In fact, it's on my water bottle. Read it, or is it backwards? Let all that you be done in love. 1 Corinthians. And so
I love it.
I think that reaching out to people and meeting them where they are with their symptoms, with their personal struggles, is really the best way moving forward with these patches to get the word out there, because it is coming from the heart and it is coming from a place of love where you want to help. And I really, that's my 2023 this year will be love. Let all that you do be done in love. And I'm just so excited to see what this year has in store for us. So thank you so much for joining us. And I will post this live on the YouTube page so that you can share it, people can share it, people can tune in, and we have our wonderful conversation and your wealth of knowledge and access at any time.
And thank you for introducing me to this world.
You're very
so synchronistically.
Right? Who are you? But I know you. These work? What's going on? Yes, that's how, in case no one knows, that's how Monica and I met. She's like, wait a minute. I see what you're doing, but, and I've heard about this, but I know you. And I know
that's the only way I would have gone into it.
Yeah. She's like, I know you. I know you. What are you doing? Like, huh? This really works. So here we are, Monica, however many months later, and you're feeling great with X49. I'm so excited for you, and your patients are finding relief. And it's just the best thing in the world. I really think so. So, all right. Well, you guys take care. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for tuning in.
You too.
And we'll see you all again soon.
Bye.
Bye.